What's up, everybody? How's it going? Austin Practical, Practical Performance, coming at you live. It is Monday, right? Yeah, it's Monday. It's Monday. How's it going, everybody? First Monday of the new year. It's 2021. And yeah, I just hopped on here, going live for a second. Not at my usual scheduled time. I've been busy as shit, but that's okay. Wanted to come on here and, just spit some value at you guys with New Year starting. Shit tons of people are starting New Year's resolutions. Let's be honest, there's tons of people that are thinking about these things. It's on everybody's mind. And so I wanted to come on here and go live really quick and just talk about some things that you guys need to be careful of when starting your fitness journey. Now, let me preface. I don't give half a shit if you guys want to work with me or if you don't want to work with me, or if you want to hire a coach or whatever it may be. I just want to tell you guys what you need to hear and what you need to look out for. So here's a few things that I think that everybody who's starting a fitness journey needs to be thinking about. If you're watching this at a later time, let me know. Hashtag replay. If you're watching this right now, just let me know you're here. Say hey in the chat. Be happy. And if you guys have any questions during this, I'm also open to answering them on Facebook. If it's on Instagram, sorry, sometimes I get lost in the chat. But if they're on Facebook, I will address some questions at the end of this if you have them. But yeah, so one thing that everybody needs to be careful of when it comes to starting a fitness journey. A lot of people right now, maybe not so much because of COVID and all that shit going on, but gym memberships. If you are signing up for a gym membership, make sure that you are being careful with what you are signing up for, okay? Make sure that you know what you're signing up for. Make sure that if you're signing up for a gym membership, that you don't get sucked in to their like predatory style of like membership slash insisting that you have to be seen by a personal trainer, blah, 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 because otherwise, blah, 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 blah. It's like, be careful of that shit, because I've talked about it in the past before, where you go and you get a gym membership and you basically have to like beat them with a stick to get off of your leg about like trying to get you to like do personal training. It's because they want you to be like, feel like you need it, and it's super fucking expensive. And yeah, if you want a personal trainer, like in that regards for like that kind of thing, like there are good ones out there. But like I've talked about in the past, that's kind of far and few in between when it comes to a lot of these big commercial gyms. If you're going to like a private gym, like a small private like garage gym or like a small like warehouse kind of gym, like those people typically know that. I'm not saying everybody that has one is, but those people typically know their shit more because it's more niche, it's more, smaller scale, like the people that have to take the time to set up a gym and things like that, like they have to know their shit for the most part. So just keep that in mind. Don't get sucked into the predatory shit when it comes to that, though. Most people who work at gyms, most personal trainers who work at gyms are actually salesmen first and foremost that get brought into a lot of these gyms. They've gone to like sales school stuff, like all that, and then they get brought on and they get their little certificate that they got in the mail after, working there for 24 hours kind of thing. Be careful of that shit. Like, don't get taken advantage of, okay? So that's my first thing, like especially when going to these gyms. They will do whatever is they will yeah. So that's all I'll say on that. The other thing I think you guys need to be careful of is don't just hire somebody because they're attractive. Don't just hire somebody because they look a certain way. Don't just hire somebody because they're your like YouTube fitness idol, especially if they're a giant name person. Like 9 times out of 10, you're not even going to be working with them. You're not. You're just going to be inputted into a system, and then one of their like somebody that they hire is going to do it, or you're just going to be put into a system that's going to like auto calculate shit for you. They're just going to be a glorified macro calculator for you guys. You don't need that. If you want that, just Google it. Don't pay somebody to do that shit for you. If you want to coach, that's not the way to go. Just because somebody looks a certain way doesn't mean that they know what they're talking about. I'm not saying that I'm ugly or anything, but I'm also saying like be careful like who you're hiring, because like some people look really good and they don't know how they look good. They don't understand why they look a certain way or why they are jacked or anything like that. They listen to other people or they're just genetically lucky. So like definitely do your freaking research. Otherwise you're going to get bit in the ass and burned and then you're never going to want to work with somebody who actually knows what they're talking about. So that's my advice there. Yeah, no, like be careful who you hire. Just because somebody is famous or whatever doesn't mean they know their shit. You know, like I'm not there's some big names out there that are full of shit and they don't know what they're talking about and a lot of times they have a lot of, especially around this time of year, you're just gonna get blasted by their ads on YouTube videos and shit. Like just keep be careful, okay? That's all I'm saying. Like be careful. Don't hire somebody just because they look like just because they're a YouTube star. That doesn't mean shit. So that's the other thing. Make sure that if you're gonna hire somebody, they have like actual client transformations that are like real and aren't like fake, and make sure that they have like proof is in the pudding is what I'm saying. Like if like I'm not saying like hire me or anything. I'm saying like if you're gonna hire somebody, at least pay attention to like if they actually have people that they've worked with in the past that actually like them and that actually say good things about them and stuff like and like make sure that they actually have like relevant transformations. So that's like because if they did have a bunch, if they were working with somebody and they didn't have transformations, or if you're working with somebody and they don't have like people that actually like them and like will vouch for them, like why would you pick somebody? You know what I mean? Like think about that stuff too. Yeah. So Chance is on the Facebook chat right now, and he said research is definitely important. And he said the P90X dude. Yeah. No, I mean just like be careful who you hire. Like, be careful. Like, seriously. Like, there's a lot of people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Yeah. And so, let's see. The thing I was gonna say that you need to be careful with is like don't get sucked into a bullshit fad diet or a bullshit like MLM scam like Herbalife. Don't get sucked into that shit. Don't get sucked into It Works. Don't get sucked into like Beachbody can be okay for some of the workout stuff because some people like it, but don't get sucked into their supplement shit. If you have to buy supplements or buy into your share in order to join their community, like it's a fucking scam and they don't like yeah you might lose some weight but you're not going to know how you did it or why it worked and like newsflash like It Works doesn't work not to like talk a bunch of shit but if you're going to sell people shit you, you you get what you deserve kind of thing. So keep that in mind. Like don't fall prey to something just because your like friends or family are doing it. That doesn't mean it's like it's a valid reason to like start an MLM scam with somebody else. Like don't do that shit. Don't buy into it because 9 times out of 10, what's gonna happen is you're gonna buy into this stuff. Either you're gonna do it or you're not even going to do it, or you're actually going to do it, and then what's going to happen is you're going to lose a little bit of weight, and you're going to lose a little bit of weight because you're starving yourself, because you're taking appetite suppressants and all this shit, and you're not actually learning how to lose the weight, or how it works, or a foundational understanding of nutrition, or how strength training works, or any of that shit. And what's going to happen is you're going to lose the weight, you're going to gain it back because you stopped taking that stuff and you didn't learn how to maintain. And then you're going to feel bad about yourself and you're going to feel like something's wrong with you when in reality the solution that you thought was the solution is flawed in the first place. And then what happens is you're like, well, shit, like I lost that weight when I was using that stuff. So I'm just going to hop back on it and lose the weight again. And it's this vicious cycle of losing and gaining, losing and gaining, losing and gaining. And that's because they want you to lose weight and then gain it back. They don't want you to actually keep it off because then you stop buying their shit, right? So don't fall prey to MLM scams. Let me say that again. Don't buy into them MLM scams. Like you're wasting your money and you're wasting your time and you're probably going to have a negative relationship with like a fitness journey going forward, which we don't want to have happen. So make sure you're not doing that shit. The other thing I'll say, bad diets, they are not sustainable. Like if you can't see yourself doing that diet for a long period of time or for the rest of your life, like at least in terms of like maintenance, you probably shouldn't be doing it for as a way to lose weight. Like unless you're like getting close like to like a low body weight period that you've never been to before, like that can be kind of okay. But but you have a planned maintenance phase ahead of time if your coach is smart. Like make sure that you're doing something that you can see yourself doing for the long term, because otherwise what's going to happen? You're going to lose weight doing some sort of fad diet like keto or something like that. You're going to lose a bunch of water weight and sugar weight, because that's what everybody does. They lose a shit ton of weight at the beginning, but it's not actually fat. It's just sugar from glycogen. Your glycogen store is getting depleted because you're not eating any carbs anymore, or you're going and you're going to lose water from that. And so everybody's like, oh, like I lost all this weight from keto, and then they plateau and they feel like shit because they're not eating carbs, and then they gain it all back because it's not sustainable for long-term success. Like, make sure your plan is sustainable. Make sure the people that you know what you're doing, because otherwise you're going to like set yourself up for failure. You could potentially have some like crappy metabolic adaptations, and then what's going to happen is you're going to make it even harder for yourself to lose weight in the future. At least for a while. So just keep that in mind. Like, there's a reason why fad diets, like 9 out of 10 people fail, like, and gain the weight back, and even then some, and then more. Like, so don't do that. Don't fall. Don't do it like what a lot of people are going to do. Like, just don't. Like, save yourself the time, money, and emotional like stress. Yeah. And some other helpful tips just in general when it comes to starting your fitness journey. If you're starting your fitness journey, start out slow transition. Don't go 0 to 100. Don't go like, all right, like I'm going from sitting on my couch all day and never working out to like, I'm going to work out 7 times a week and eat super healthy and blah, 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 like all at once. Because what's going to happen is you're going to get overwhelmed. You're going to overwhelm yourself physically. You're going to overwhelm yourself mentally and emotionally. And what happens when we get overwhelmed? We fall apart and we divert, or we kind of go back to our old ways whenever we get stressed out, to our comfort zone. And so slowly and surely, like carefully get yourself out of your comfort zone and build up these good habits over time. Like start to habit stack a little bit, like, I'm gonna focus on getting like a little bit better every day so that it's consistent progress. So that way you can build up, and that way if you have a bad day, like you've built that habit up instead of going from like 0 to 100. Like that's my like way. That's how I advise it. Like small steps, not the whole staircase. Like have an overarching big goal that you want to achieve, but focus on little by little building up certain parts of your day to day. So that way you can actually make this into a lifestyle instead of like a quick fix shortcut. Because if you're just trying to go for a shortcut, like right now, like 1, I'm not the coach for you, and 2, I hate to break it to you, but if you're just trying to take shortcuts and you're trying to like get in, get out, I want to lose 10 pounds so I can look good for this specific, like blah, 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 like as quickly as possible, you're going to fail. Like you're very, very more than likely going to fail. You are. Like you're going to, like, you're shortchanging yourself, and you're wasting a lot of time in the long term because you're trying to go for such quickly, like, fast action results. Like that's what happens. That is what happens. So yeah, no, and then honestly, like, be nice to yourself. Like think of it this way: you are not going to be perfect at this from the very beginning. Like if you want to be somebody who's good at fitness and good at your nutrition and things like that, like, it is a skill that is developed over time, slowly over time. It is a skill that you have to work on day in, day out. That's like expecting like you're just going to be like a home run hitter, or you're going to be like Michael Jordan like instantly, like once you start your fitness journey, or like it's like, never playing basketball before in your entire life, and then you're like, why am I not hitting 3-pointers every single like time I take a shot? Like, it's because you haven't practiced it. It's because you haven't like built up that skill set over time. And so that's why. And so one, be nice to yourself, and don't like be super hypercritical of yourself. So that way you have a negative like headspace about it all. And 2, like work on like just being like, yeah, like just being nice to yourself in general, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like I kind of lost my train of thought there, but like honestly, like when it comes to a fitness journey, just expect things to go wrong and be okay with it, and like press on. Like the people that do the best with their fitness journey, it's not that they lack motivation, or it's not that they're always motivational all the time, and it's not that they never fall off the wagon. It's just that they operate even when they're not motivated because they built the discipline over time, and they also have the they have the basically instead of like whenever they get knocked off the wagon, they don't stay off of it for as long. They get back on quicker because they've built that up before. They've been there before, and so just be nice to yourself and have realistic expectations. Have realistic expectations. That's the last thing I'll say on this. Is just like you are not going to lose like unless you're like substantially overweight. Like sustainable weight loss over time is half a pound to 2 pounds a week. Okay, which if you think about it, that adds up over time. But stop thinking like you're horrible at this when you only see that the scale has like only moved half a pound. Some people half a pound in a month is good because they've got crazy like metabolisms and stuff like that. Like some people, like that's good. Some people that's consistent progress. But if you do that day in, day out, week after week, month after month, it adds up. And then one day you're gonna wake up and you'll be like, holy shit, I did it. But having realistic expectations from the get-go is going to be key to making sure that you actually reach your goals. Because if you have unrealistic expectations, you're just going to be like hit in the face with disappointment after disappointment after disappointment, and you're going to feel like you can't do this even though you're doing it. So think about that way, and then also, don't compare your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 20. Don't do that. Don't compare your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 20. Your story and your journey is yours and yours alone, okay? You cannot sit here and be like, why did so-and-so eat all this food and lose all this weight and do all these things and look awesome, and I, who am, and even though they've been doing it for 10, 15, 20 years, yet I am just starting out. I am a new chick jumping out of the nest, and I can't do all those things like they can do, and I'm making myself feel bad about it. Like, don't do that. Like, just your journey is yours and yours alone. Like, it's you versus you. It's not you versus anybody else. Like, don't go down that rabbit hole because it's gonna bite you in the ass in the long run. Like, it's gonna make it way harder on yourself than it needs to be. So just keep these things in mind. I have one other thing, but I can't think of it right now. But yeah, so that's in general, like those are just all the things that you guys need to be aware of going into your 2021 fitness journey. There's a lot of other things I could probably talk about, but like don't go the burnout route. Don't do metric shit tons of cardio. Eat as much food as you can while still losing weight consistently and sustainably, so that way you're not starving yourself. Don't restrict yourself. Don't demonize food groups. I don't know what else to say. Like, just be smart about things and don't. If something sounds way too good to be true, like be healthily skeptical of it. Be healthily skeptical of it. I don't want people getting screwed over. I don't want people getting, like, I don't know, having a bad experience, getting burned, and then feeling like something's wrong with them when the system that they tried the first time around or the second time around just was broken to begin with. So that's my live for today, everybody. Happy freaking 2021. I hope that this was valuable to you guys. I hope that you guys got something out of this. I hope that this was helpful. I am taking people to work with me right now. If you guys are interested, if anybody's watching this and they want to work with me, send me a message. I'd be happy to see if we would work well together, if you'd fit well with my program, with my group. I hope that this was valuable. I hope that this helped. If you got value from this, give it a like. Let me know what your number one takeaway was. If you watch this later time, #replay. If you, like I said, if you are interested in working together, like let me know. I'd be happy to. I'm still taking on people right now. So that's my life for today. I'm back, and I'm gonna be back tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. So. I hope you guys like this new setup that I got kind of going on. It's like more like I'm looking at you instead of like looking down at you kind of thing. So that's my life for today. Happy Monday, everybody, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Later.